Hello everyone and welcome to a new video on this channel. It's the Speed Force Racing GP4 division, the first round in Bahrain. My name is Train Game Well and I am your main streamer for this season, and we are waiting for the lobby to start, and let's just hope on great qualifying that's coming up shortly. At the moment the GP5 division is underway with Lewis in first position, and let's hope the race is entertaining there and the practice pays off for the full lobby they have there. So we are waiting on two drivers. And once we've got them in the lobby, we will start. We can obviously take a look at the lineups tonight. We have Mercedes, we have Energy Dan and Jim. To Keith, now I will call him Jim, if that's alright. On the Red Bull we have Erich and Yoto Yuzu, if I pronounce it correctly, of course. With McLaren we have NCE Aureoglass and Unbeaten Sign. By Aston Martin of Irish Slim and Hunter Kiichi. And we go to Alpine where we have Sonic in the Alpine with a left seat alongside him. At Ferrari we have the SFR squad with SFR Poch and SFR Paul. At AlphaTauri we have Ryan van Dulmen SHR MCFC. At Alfa Romeo we have Peld Dier Aris, if that's correctly, and I'm just in time is alongside him. At Haas we have Tommy Gunner, and with an empty seat alongside him, and at Williams we have Shadowlancer and Die 36. Those are the drivers we are gonna meet tonight, so let's wait on the other two. Looks like we are gonna start the qualifying as the drivers are starting to ready up, and that season 10 can start for the GP4 drivers. Now we're gonna move on to the Saturday of the Grand Prix with the qualifying at the Sakhir International Circuit. A difficult track to start with, but also a very challenging one. With the races are always interesting to follow with the strategies, where I will talk later about them. And it's one of the few races that it's a night race alongside Singapore and the second half of the race at Abu Dhabi, of course. Cox is joining us, so I hope the lobby won't stop when we are loading into the race, or that the qualifying will maybe stuck. As I hope I didn't jinx it, but it's long waiting. Yeah, Paul has left the session, and now looks like the time is ticking above your screen. So then we can start. So here we are then in the pit straight for now, as the qualifying gets underway. 18 minutes of qualifying to get the best good position you can try to have. So I've set the full track map so you can see where your favorite driver is, or if you are watching or listening to us, you can follow the others and all the other stuff. The Alfa Romeos are the first ones to coming out. It's Peldigradis on the Alfa Romeo, and his teammate is following him, as you could see on the back of your screen. And they are currently out on the medium tire. That's what a lot of drivers do. First, having a bit of a run on the medium tire, and to get a feel of how the track is, the conditions, but also to save a set of soft in case if there's in the race a safety car, which is always a chance of. So let's go on board with the Alfa Romeo of Peldigradis. So now coming on to the final stage, we're gonna do a on board lap. So we start the lap here. It's quite a long straight, and we are now going to the hardest braking part of the circuit. And it's already a hairpin, which could be very difficult at the beginning of the race. Turn 2 we just had this easy, could be difficult to really judge the throttle if you're on no assist, but I guess these drivers are on assist. We finished the first sector, and here it's getting very technical. And now we're going into the double apex braking corner, which is the difficult corner to judge braking on, and not to look up. But if you're using ABS, that's obviously no problem. Then we had our technically our second DRS zone, which is after turn 910, I think that is. And we entered the last sector on the penultimate corner, where you want to prepare yourself for attacking your opponent or even defending your opponent. And this last corner is gonna be key, because if you run too wide, you'll obviously get a track limit, but your also exit is getting ruined. And the first lap time of this GP4 division is a 1:28.4, And let's take a look what MB designed us. It's a 129.0. Then one of the rebels going. It's Joe to Yuzu, who is on the source as that's 127.760, which is already a good banger to be fair. I personally don't know much about those guys, so it's for me also looking how everyone will be. So let's take a look at energy then. He goes to P4 with 29.7. Butch goes with 28.6, the second fastest, and then we onto the P3. Eric Slim goes to the top, 127.4, and his teammate follows him with 27.5. And let's then take a look at Alpha Tower who's coming, which is Ryan Van Doom. Coming onto the straight, and it will be 27 zip, 27.7. It's just 8,000 slower than Yoto Lulu. And we're now gonna take a look at Eric J in the Red Bull car. Coming on to the final straight now to get a time on the board. It's a 128.141. It's currently good enough for 5th place, and we're now going to look at the Alpine. That's not an Alpine, that's a Williams. Let's take a look at Sungal. With setting a lap time but not competitive enough, 42.0. Eric Slim has set another level of soft, which is very interesting. It's a 126.8, so it's interesting that what he has done. He will obviously get another run, so there is time enough to do 2 runs, but he just wants to have a good feel of his pace currently on a new set of softs, and hopefully his strategy pays off for himself. Gonna take a look at Shadowlands in the Williams, and he goes to P10, 130.8. And then we are gonna look at someone else if there is someone on a lap. We have SFR Paul in the Ferrari. In the Ferrari SF21, I believe. The DRS is getting opened. I personally don't think there will be lots of moves made around here, but it's just a bonus to get DRS for your lap time, of course, and obviously to stay in the DRS window. There was the rear was a little bit of a slip going out of the penultimate corner, and now going around the final corner. Paul is going to the final straight, and he invalidates on the final corner. And I said earlier that you must not run wide, otherwise you will face a problem. As both Williams are close to each other, so I wonder if they have slipstreamed each other, as Gox has retired from qualifying. I don't see a crash car on track, which is always a good thing, and Dai goes to P7 with 28.4 on the mediums. And let's go to Jim in the Mercedes car, 28.4 in the first sector. Haven't got to close that enough. Oh, I also see that Tommy Gunner is on the lap. Here he is. Takes a very run line through those corners as he goes purple into the second sector. That's quite impressive on medium, so the fastest lap is on 26.8, but that's how the game works probably. We go now onto the final straight with Tommy, and Tommy gets himself currently on the 4th row on the grid, but Antui Oreo Glass goes to P3 with a 27.5, just slightly behind Hunter. Now Jimmy goes to P9, let's find him here. P9 he is. As his teammate is close to him on track, so they may give each other a tow. Was on a lap. Perdigaris. Excuse me. He goes to. He's the second to get into the 26s. As Unbeaten Sign is close to him for 27.1. Quite lonely at the moment in third place, but I guess it can be worse. I'm just in time. That's a 27.3, which is before the moment, so we have the Alfa Romeos in the top 4, which is a good sign for them, of course. Joe Toulouse so goes into the pits, so he wasn't satisfied with his lap. Well, he has no front wing, so that's fair enough. At the moment, Gox, who has retired, SFR Paul and MCFC haven't had a lap time yet, as Paul is now out on the track. Eric Slim is now out on a fresh set of softs, so he's gonna try to beat his previous time, and if not, he has to do another run on start on the 2 lap old softs he used. Let's go to Paul, who's I think the only one on the lap currently. Yeah, she also position on the lap, so let's follow him in. And first, he is almost 6 stands up on his time, with 28.6 currently. And if he can make up 6 stands, he will get himself into the top 10, which is I think everyone's goal. Well, he's 1.2 seconds up, so that's gonna be a good time. He's lucky he doesn't invalidate there, so the game allows it for now. But he surely hasn't run right at the final corner, otherwise I'm sure you time will get deleted, but he doesn't. As for Koch Racing goes to P4 with a 27.3, slightly faster than I'm just in time. Now let's move on to his teammate Paul here, onto the curbs where he validated his previous time, but he also goes to P4, so they're pretty much the same qualifying pace, 27.2, just in the middle between 3rd and 5th. As the drivers are starting to come out to have their maybe final run. Yeah, I guess it's your final run if you come out now. Sonico has improved his lap time with 2:29, but it isn't enough to be in front of the pack. MCFC still hasn't had lap time and goes out now for his final and last final run. who is on a lap? Let's go to EJ, who is I think on the lap. He is currently half a second up on his time. Make that almost a second. So he could mix himself into the first rows onto the grid. Currently in P11. And with his as Dai goes to the fastest, is now the fastest with 1:26.858. And let's see what EJ is gonna do. It's also 26.926. So he's currently third. He's 400 faster than Pel Diragis in the Alpha. And sorry for my coach. Who is now on a lap? I think Hunter is on the lap if I'm right. Yes, he is. Three tenths up on his time. It's purple apparently, but don't think he will get to a pole if, unless his final sector is something magical. Here goes Hunter in the Aston Martin. That's the exact same lap time as Unbeaten Sign. It's a 1:27.156 and it's currently good enough for P5. Let's go to Jimmy now, who is exactly 10 seconds slower apparently, which is also quite an incredible achievement if you think of it. There goes Energy N was 2 seconds up on his time. And it's already P13. So Energy then has at the moment to start from further back of the grid. I haven't got the clue how many minutes we still have. Yeah, I saw less than 2 minutes, so well, let's see what's gonna get on pole position. Currently Die 36 in the Williams just the fastest with a 1:26.8, and is someone gonna beat that lap time? And Chewy Oreo Glass as isn't gonna improve, so he hopes to start with P11. Other guys on the lap, I think MCFC is on the lap, but he has backed out of it, so he will start from last place. So let's see how his race pace is gonna be. GB was on the second run on the soft, goes into the top 10 with a 27.1. Slightly sold the Ryan Vanoom Hunter and Unbeaten Sign. 8,000 between 3 places, 3 or 4 places. Quite terrifying. I don't have anyone on the lap who I can find. Sonegal is just about to start the lap. He will be the final one to finish the lap. There we have Peldi Kragis. I'm still struggling with the name, so excuse me for that. Around the final corner he goes, and will he get to the pole? It's proving just a tenth, and he does by almost 2 tenths. Eric Slim reacts directly with a 26.5, and Beaten Sign also goes to the third place. But now the Williams with Shadowlands was on the mediums qualifying on P16 and not really spectacular. Go to Juice who goes to P12. Then we're gonna look at I'm Just in Time. Now he's in just in time to cross the line, and it's P2 at 26.6 for the Alfa Romeo. Jimmy goes into the pits. It's currently in P9. we're gonna look at Tommy. The Haas driver was second up on this time, but I don't think that will make too much of a difference. He had a good last sector, so he puts himself into P10. But Paul has invalidated his lap, so he isn't going to jump in. Then we have Sonica, who was the last driver who was on the lap, but he isn't on a flyer. So I think this is your pole man, Eric Slim, with a 1:26.586. Is the fastest lap time of today, and he is just slightly quicker than I'm just in time. We're gonna look at what the gap is to the leader. I'm just in time, it's just 61,000 slower. Peldigas is less than 2/10, but we've got P7 to P10. Just 300s, that's insane. We have 13 drivers in his second, which is of course always great to look at, and qualifying is now officially over. So this is your qualifying, and I will show you the full results if you want to look at it. We have only 2 drivers now setting the time, but Cox who retired quite early, and MCFC who didn't set a lap time. So just let's see what for race they have in store for us. I don't see any grid penalty, so that's always positive. So the stewards aren't busy about those things. The drivers are now selecting their strategies, and I will talk about the strategies in the formation lab that's coming up. And if they want to make some setup changes of a higher wing or a different brake bias or the differential, it's all up to them. And I think also you can change tire pressures, but I personally never touched that. So we firstly gonna do a rundown through the grid to introduce you kind of what the grid is. The formation lap is underway with Eric Slim on pole position. I will show you the tires. Top 10 starts because of the softs, and from P12 they're all medium, so quite clear to check. In P2 I'm just in time with his team Peldigazis on P3, which a very strong qualifying from both Alfa Romeos. We meet in Sign P4. Dye, who was on provisional pole, has dropped to P5. HJ is starting P6 with Ryan Verdoen P7. Hunter in P8. G-May on the 2 lap old softs he did set his qualifying on, starts P9. Tommy will cut himself into the top 10, starts also in P10. Then the only one with a free tire choice starts outside the top 10 is Paul, who starts on the soft. And then on the mediums we have his teammate SFR Potch, Yoto Yuzu, Entui Oreo Glass, SFR Energy Dan, Shadow Lancer, who also qualified on those tires, but I guess he has a brand new one under his car. As Potch gets qualified. Sonic Girl, P17, Cox 18 and MCFC starts from the back of the grid. Strategies. There are quite a few strategies that are possible. You can do the one stop. If you start on the soft, you can go to the hard tire, and if you start on the medium, you can obviously the old classic F1 game strategy is the medium hard. But and if you want to play it more safely, there's always the tools are possible with 2 sets of soft and a stint of the mediums in the middle or at the end. Depends on what you like. But let's see how this race will unfold, and maybe there is a safety car in a few laps time, and this strategy window is for 180 degrees on the other side, you know. Final driver of MCFC has got into his grid slot, so the 5 lights are coming on now. The drivers are revving their engine, and Slim has got away with a pretty good start, and B Designer seem to be also a really good start, as the Williams of Dyer is already dive bombing here, but he doesn't wins a few places, as he has the McLaren of Unbeaten Sign alongside him, and they're going side by side into the technical little S section. Is this going right? The Unbeaten Sign runs a little bit wide, still side by side, and now going into the double apex, still side by side or not. Oh, he just backs out of it, as we have a yellow, which is Energy Dan rules. I think I've had front wing damage, if I'm not sure. I think yes, he has, so he's probably going into the pits. And we have Eric Slim into the lead of Pel Di Gratis in P2, Unbeaten Sign in P3, Die P4 and EJ in P5. I'm just in time, losing a few positions in 6. Ryan Van 7, Gmail 8, Paul with his new socks in P9, and Hunter finishing off the top 10 for now on. So let's take a look at some battles, as Die is already taking a closer line. As we have the overtaking to make for P16, Porsche is overtaking Audio Glass. The DRS is obviously not available for now. That's going to be activated on the next lap. With Energy then into the pits with the front wing and medium tires. As in 1 second he is away. After we have Paul off. Paul is dropping in the order, and it's at the turn 8 turn. So he may be at contact with someone, as I think also Ryan Van is dropping. He probably made a mistake running wide at the corner. But either J goes up to 3rd, or I'm just in time, or Unbeaten Sign or something. One thing is for I'm just in time there's a lot of unders there under that car. Then he pushed by with Gmail, where Gmail is going to die, so it's all kicking off here. Oh, the Alpha goes off! The Alpha goes off! So Ryan Van is out of the race, and this is getting a third safety car out. I saw that I was losing it, and Ryan Van was on the wrong place at the wrong time, and is the first driver to DNF this season. So already a few drivers coming into pits, and let's see if that's gonna help. There will be the sign out front wing damage. I think a lot of drivers have front wing damage if you look at it. A lot of front wings are changing, and MCFC just goes to the hard tire, but I also see on the top left we have a safety car, and Energy Dan is now back in the race. So I think he is very happy with that. And what will the Sovereigns do, of course? As they already catch up to the safety car, as it obviously was quite late, quite at the end of the lap, so the safety car was probably out quickly. So we have Eric Slim, Pel Gratis, EDJ and Hunter on the soft. And for the Aston Martin team, this could be a little bit of a... they could hurt us as if they want to pitch, or they have the double stack, or the one has to stay out. We will obviously take a look at it to see if someone is going into the pits. We have also a penalty. It's a 5-second time penalty for Die in back in 14th place. I think I saw a 5 seconds coming up on my screen, but for probably speeding or making contact or what else he did, you know. It looks like Slim is going into the pits. Are the drivers following him? Yes, of course. It's EDJ and Hunter also. So the Alpha Aston Martins are gonna double stack. So the Aston Martin Hunter is gonna join the back of the grid, which could be very entertaining. But this is our leader currently, Pel Gratis. Was the first one out of the qualifying and is now the first on track at the moment. With staying on his soft, so where you can use them for a few laps but not long enough. As it's a track where you need a traction and the softs are quite, I think it's a more softer range they have here. So we can maybe say that Kyoto users will soon take over the lead. As we have also Shadow Lancer in P3. I don't know where he started, but it was quite long back. But we found it actually. He started P16 with Gox, and P4 was starting behind him, I think. Yeah, kind of the same place they were. Obviously, a few had it at the moment. Oh, the safety car is already coming in, so that's always good news to hear. So let's take a look at when Pel Gratis is gonna resume the race. I personally hope that it won't be too slow to the start finish line. So let's see when he is gonna go onto the throttle. And there he goes! We are going back racing again in Bahrain with Pel Gratis in the lead. As I think it's very close behind Shadow Lab now. As Cox is showing himself in the mirror, but doesn't make a move. Oh, there's audio glass already sticking into the inside. But Pochassi is, I won't say blocking, but is helping his teammate perfectly. So the Ferraris are now 5th and 6th, and Paul goes around the outside on his softs. Around Poch. So that's a beautiful teamwork by the Ferrari squad. As I'm just in time, so I think losing positions, and Die goes to the inside of Tommy. As I think also the teammate is trying to take a look at him. So it's all close as EDG, as it's quite close at the back of this train. Some beaten sign is getting a very interesting line. As he probably has damage, otherwise I don't know why he would ride so slow. No, he hasn't got damage, as we could see. Hunter and Time are not really moving positions. Energy then is obviously better in the race because of the safety car we had. 131.3, yeah. Beldigratis is putting on the throttle and try to make a gap for himself. As Die has overtaken Audio Blast, as the Mercedes of Jim goes onto the inside of Tommy. As the McLaren has a terrible exit and Jimmy gets 2 positions in a few corners time. So P8 it is for Jimmy. As we have 3 drivers going into the pits, these are Unbeaten, Sign Hunter and Just in Time, who were at the front in the beginning of the race, as Paul has made a move. No, I don't think the move was without contact because he lost a part of his front wing. McLaren gets very close. But something happened between Paul and Gox, I think, because Gox is also dropping places. Or he has just a bad momentum at the moment. As Jim is very close on those softs, and will he put it on the inside? No, but he's kissing the gearbox of the Williams. As we have a yellow, that's a blue car off, and that's Sonic was off. As it's very entertaining here. Gox goes into the pits and gets a 5-second time penalty. Let's take a look at the Rebel. What's he gonna do? It's almost 3 abreast going into turn 1. And I don't know if the DRS is activated or not, but that could be entertaining. DRS is available, and here goes Eric Slim, our pole man, to the inside of Tommy. It's well, not much space between those two, but Eric Slim will get the inside of this turn 5 I believe it is, and he now has the position of Tommy. And let's take a look at more in the front. The Poch has a little bit of group behind him of Dax and Jimmy. Jimmy wants to make a position to use his soft perfectly. But I think the only one who actually pitted for soft, the safety car we had, as he's getting quite close to die. As the Beldigratis is now not running away from those. As Eric Slims has the fastest lap, was obviously free air now in front of him, and Die goes to the inside or not. He pushes Poch into a mistake, and Poch is now blocking his exit. And let's take a look from Jimmy, and Poch loses 2 positions, and will he make another move? He touches the rear, gets to the inside, and the touch, and it's going free wide into turn 5. Die gets another penalty. Oh, still side by side, but thank God it was without contact or a crash. As the Ferrari goes back on the inside, and oh my God, it's free wide almost again. Poch is pushing on Jimmy, who isn't going to be happy with that, and it's getting really close at the rears of everyone in this race. Jimmy is using a soft tire to get himself under P4, but Poch is really close to him. As Poch has now to look at the 3-second gap to... Oh, that's really close. Too close for comfort for Poch. Hope he doesn't taking damage from it. It doesn't look like on our broadcast. But I'll say, look at this train we have here. It's quite huge, as we have yellow, but nothing really serious. There goes the Williams of Die, who wants to get the Ferrari now. The Ferrari of Porsche defense. And there's running side by side onto turn 4. Porsche hasn't got the DRS, interestingly. As we have also changed to P2, Yoda Yuzu and Shadow Lancer are battling here. With Shadow Lancer going into P2. So he is having a very nice race at the moment and beating us with a fast lap at 30.5. As this is a nice train to look, as long as it isn't without crashes, of course. Well, Die is defending for Poch, and Poch goes to the inside and contact on the left rear, but all stays clean, and this resulted in Die not having DRS anymore on Chime, so Chime is kind of free and has a 1.6, 1.7 gap to YouTube. And let's enjoy the slipstream train right now. Let's look to Arab Slim, was quite close to Poch. Well, Poch is not having the best time here. As he breaks very late and stays to the inside, but he backed out of it, and I think he got 2 track lemons there. Haas on the outside! Whoa, I didn't expect that from Tommy. But he goes to the outside. I think there was contact made there. And now Iriche wants to pass him, but he's on the wrong side of the corner. But Iriche wants to get rid of the tires, I think, because he is struggling quite heavily with that. Usually the curve will turn high, which I don't recommend to do that. But wait a moment, we have Shadow Lancer on the back of Peldigratis. So Peldigratis is, I think, looking for a one-stopper here, as he's on 9 lap all softs. But let's go back here, side by side. That's very entertaining. There goes Eric Slim on the beautiful switchback. Goes to 5th. But we are gonna now take a look at the lead of Peldigratis. Goes into the pit, so he will probably pit for the hard tire. Now let's take a look at the overtake party here, as Tommy is looking fancy. Oh, that's not without contact with Slim did to Die, which I think was a unexpected move from the Aston Martin driver. As Tommy gets closer, this is a beautiful shot. I hope it stays for the whole lap. The Red Bull of Iridic goes close, but Tommy wants to make a move on Eric Slim on the outside, and he does that, and the Red Bull wants to go with him, but hasn't succeeded. Then the Red Bull and the AlphaTauri. Now the Red Bull was just closing the door on the MGFC. We have MGA to P2. With Yodo still staying on the outside, but has obviously give up the position. So I think Chime is doing a little last first, as Slim is dropping positions. He probably run wide at turn 11 now. If that was taken. Yeah. Peldigratis has gone to the hard tire, I just see. So he's going to the end. So he is, say, our leader of this race. Yoto is staying with Gmail, and if I was him, I would just want to stay with Gmail, if it's possible, of course. Potch and Energy then are battling. The SFR boys. Still side by side at turn 2. Who's gonna get DRS? I think it's Energy then. It's Energy then who's gonna get the DRS, and he'll defend for which is not P9. Slim is going into the pits on the mediums. As Paul makes the move to be inside, and Paul runs to Qatar, I think, because he broke too late for that to happen. And Alex Slim says, "Thank you very much, I take that position." Here we have Potch. Will he make a move at turn 11? I think he will. But he stays on the inside, but Energy then comes around the outside. And they go side by side on around turn 13. That is hurting your tires if you do that too much. And now the whole game is starting to unfold between those two. Tommy is running wide, hasn't got DRS of course. Has a little tricky exit, and he goes defensive, and here goes EJ. He goes around the side, but on the outside you have the grip, and he will use it to his advantage. So it's P5 for the Red Bull, with his 2 places ahead, his teammate on slightly older mediums. He hasn't pitted yet. Same as Shadowlands, who's in the lead with just a second. As I think the softs of Gmail are starting to drop now. As our GP5 boys are coming in, as the chat is popping up. So hello everyone, and I hope you enjoy this race. It's in case you just joined now, we have had 1 safety car, and the fast and the pole time was a 26.5 from IH Slim, who was in P13, not having the race you probably did imagine. And here goes MCFC, burning all of his battery to overtake Tommy, and he uses to his advantage as he goes completely sideways, and that's obviously a good. I wanted to say that Tommy could have taken advantage of that, but he didn't. So P6 it is for MCFC, who started from last place, remember, and Alex Slim has so now taken and beaten sign. This was also a battle for pole position, so they haven't got a race they wanted. And beaten sign is also quite, although beaten sign goes when you talk about it. Spawn is also, I imagine he will pin now, as the race will probably be smoking of the heat. He's still going out with the soft, so I imagine you will go to the mediums. The only one who has called for 1 stop today is Peldi Gratis in P11. He was going, started on the qualified, I think 2nd or 4th, or 2nd or 3rd. As GP goes into the pitch like I thought Yoda was, but also Shadowlands is in the place for this in the battle for the lead. We have Dai going to the inside of Juzu, and the Williams driver is taking the provisional first place at the moment on 11 old mediums, but it's a close fight here at the front. With Dai in first, the Red Bulls in second and third, and of the tower of MCFC4, Eric slips his fast lap into the 29s. Tommy is in fifth and Potch still going out on those mediums. I wonder what his strategy will be. He probably wants to stretch him to for another soft, I think. But UJ is quite close to Yoto too, on 14 lap or mediums. I think he's gonna pit this lap, as the Bulls have switches from places, and MCFC is no overlooking fancy to overtake the Red Bull. Toby has spun! Toby has spun! But luckily for him he doesn't lose a position from it, but he loses a lot of time, that's true. Will Joto go into the pits? Yeah, of course he will, because he was losing the pace. Goes onto the hard, of course. And he maybe could have done the mediums, but I don't know what the strategy was, of course. There goes Shadow Lancer, overtaking him on the harder tire. As Jimmy, who is on the mediums, has stretched the soft so long, so he could put on the mediums, which is a good point. And he could challenge for the win, of course, but he firstly has to pass Shadow Lancer. Has stayed his ERS on through the corner, which is quite interestingly. As Potch gets the penalty for multiple warnings. It's when is gonna Jimmy make the move on Shadow Lancer? He has got DRS, but Shadow Lancer obviously wants to defend his position, which is his right to do. EJ goes into the pits as Jimmy gets a 3-second time penalty. This goes into the finders of Peldigradis, and now Jimmy wants to make a hurry to pass Shadow Lancer. He has got a DRS. But if you look at his own body, he just doesn't have any ERS. So, oh, we have Virgil. We have a Virgil safety car, and that comes into play for EJ, I could say. Because he just joins behind Jimmy and Shadow Lancer, but in front of his teammate, Joto Juzu, who's on the harder tire. I haven't got a clue where the safety car is from, SFR Paul. God damn. Takes advantage of it for the softs, that's quite optimistic. I wonder why the safety car is out, as I don't see a car stopped on track or a slow car or what else. So maybe they're making the race interesting for us. Unbeaten Sign has a 5-second time penalty, so his race is really going for bad and worse. As he also has no front way. But we're going back to green now. As I was trying to look at Jimmy, but he hasn't made a move. MCFC is close for taking the lead for now, but he goes into the pits. Last moment that chose for him. Unbeaten Sign has retired in the pits. So that won't be a safety car. As I also noticed that Shadow Lancer is closing in on Peldigradis, so to say that Shadow Lancer is holding up Jimmy, that isn't true. Also MCFC goes to the soft, which is, to, if you ask me, quite optimistic. Jimmy has overtaken Shadow Lancer off camera, so I think in a few laps time GMA is at the back of Peltigratis, who we have here on the hard tire. The only one stopper in this race, and at the moment it's paying off for him, because we have to remember that GMA has a 3-second tire penalty and Peltigratis hasn't got a penalty. I obviously don't know how many warnings he has. But also I think Shadowlancer wants to try to stay with him. And the same is for EDJ, who is also in the DRS. But at the moment Shadowlancer is doing a phenomenal job. Because just look the positions he gained. 12 positions, he started from 16 with MCFC. Is now up to P6, overtaking Yoga Yuzu. Because MCFC is on the top, so he will fly now. Shadowlands is still behind, and I hope he will do this for a very long time, and then he will get second place, or maybe more. Maybe there's a win for him in store. At the last race of season 9. He came very close to it. He lost the final, the battle on the final lap between the champion of season 9, which isn't bad, of course, but it's. By the way, he has just DRS on the GMA, but what I want to say is he was getting close to that win. And I think everyone in this league will be happy for him if he gets a win this year, or maybe today. Obviously he has the chance to do it, and what a way from P16. Currently the die is going into the pits, so he'll also go to a set of soft. And he of course had that 5-second time penalty from the safety car. So that's more time lost, so he will come back on P7 or P8. It depends where he come out. He will come P8, but where will he get against Tommy? P8 of course. MCFC is overtaken Shadowlancer. MCFC obviously on the soft against Shadowlancer on the hard, so that isn't a fight, if you are honest. And also ERJ has passed them. So I missed again something. And I think it won't take too long till MCFC wants to take over the lead of this group and try to get closer to Peltigratis. As the softs are good for just a few laps, and then they are losing the pace. MCFC is really close to the back of EDJ, and he could get helped, EDJ, by the DRS he has on GMA. Let's go on board with MCFC. They're not using ERS, just the rear flap, and it's getting. I don't think there was contact made. ERJ hasn't got the exit he probably wanted, but it's close enough. Now let's say he's trying to make a move now on the GMA, and it isn't going to catch Peltigratis. I'm sorry, but he goes around the outside and makes the move stick, and I think he has now to show the GMA that he can make it to the back of the Alfa Romeo, because that's their main opponent now. They have to work together, otherwise they won't get a chance for fighting for victory. As Shadowlands has completely dropped from this battle. The battle is at the moment a very good pace. And when does MCFC make the move? That's gonna be a question. Well, if you're asking me, we want to do it on the exit, but as we have Sonic Car spinning again, lost the front wing, doesn't cause a safety car yet. There we go, let's go on board. MCFC is using the ZRS, but MTA is going to have a run on EDJ. Oh, he broke late, and MCFC is going to make advantage of that, and EDJ loses 2 positions in 1 corner. So they're still closing in a bit on Peldicaris. And there are 7 laps to go in this race. So I hope for the 16 people currently watching that they enjoyed themselves. As G-Make runs very wide, so that's just an advantage for MCFC to make the move earlier than he probably did expect. And he goes to P2. Peldicaris may have had DRS from MCFC. But now it can go quick with MCFC on the softs against Peldicaris on the hards. And you can see on the top left the gap is getting closer. 1.8 it is now, 1.7. And there isn't much ERS if I both look on those ERSs, or out there steering wheel of course. So there isn't much to play with, as it's 1.2, so they gained a lot from those, and obviously MCFC is helping GMA and EDJ to close in of those. As Yoto Yuzu is also closing in on Shadowlands, who I think doesn't really like those hard tires, but just hasn't got the pace on it. Tires are low in P7 at the moment on the new set of soft. Eric Sim or Poleman P8. Wonder he is gonna trying to hold up this mediums to the end of race. Tommy P9 and Untitled P10. It was a last place at the first lap, so just get the point with it. You can be happy with that. Shadow Ends gets a penalty, and I think non-drivers get. I think we're gonna have a lead change because Peldicaris is under threat from NCR MCFC and is gonna complete the last to first challenge. He started from P19, but starting lap 24, he is gonna lead the Bahrain Grand Prix, taking the lead from the one stopper Peldicaris, and his strategy did work out. And we're now gonna take a look how EJ is gonna try to get past GMA. Has the DRS, but GMA hasn't got DRS on Peldicaris. So EJ goes up the third, and now it's gonna try to get the Peldicaris. But it's all as EJ gets a penalty. That's gonna help our 2 leaders. So we could, if it stays like this with no safety cars, then we could stay in the second position. Oh, GMA crashes! GMA crashes. Probably locked the rears, and then his rear span, and now Yoto Yuzu is going to take advantage of that, of course, as Dyer is also in this battle. But also Peldicaris is staying with MCFC, but that's possible, or positive, let's say. Sonic is getting blue flag, so maybe MCFC is getting DRS of Sonic. Let's take a look. No, he hasn't. So Peldigaris can use the DRS to getting closer to him. But we will obviously take a look at the battle. The Williams won't make a fight of it. And dies to the inside. Oh, Yoto leaves the door open. But I think he isn't sitting there for this straight, as he also got DRS from GMA. The Red Bull did not a really good exit. Dai is waiting for his moment as he touches the Red Bull at turn 10. But the DRS isn't gonna help, but for the moment let's look at those penalties for those battles. It's all free, so that's all an equal game. Paul gets a penalty back in P15. Getting the race where he won. He probably hoped for. He having a close look on the leader. And just see if the SOS can hold it for MCFC. Because we still have 4 laps left. And his SOS are already 7 laps old. So this could be an interesting one to the end of the race. Not move mates, but let's take a look for P9 and have some lifetime for Tommy and Energy Dan, especially for Energy Dan. We haven't seen him a lot during the race, but he is back up to the points and wants to get to P9. And the penalties there is an equal battle. But they must not battle very hard, otherwise until the time was 7 seconds behind can get up closer. As it's getting very close at the top of the field. 4/10 is quite close. And you just can see that the exit of the softs aren't as extreme as in the beginning. So will Peldigaris overtaken now? Let's take a look. The DRS is getting opened. MCFC obviously wants to break the slipstream a bit, but that's not gonna work out for now. He's doing the kind of takes the other line through turn 1, but I don't think he will make a move there. Just waiting his moment. He just has to wait for his moment and he will get him. I'm sure. Well, Diary is getting very defensive to show him you won't pass me for 4th. As he also has to look out for his softs to not be very burned out. We have 2.5 laps left here in this Bahrain Grand Prix, and who's gonna win? NCRMC 2020 or Peldigaris? I personally will put my money on Peldigaris. We saw that Peldigaris had no pace on 9 level softs and was quickly got caught by the Williams of Shadow Lancer some 80 laps ago. But MCFC did have a good exit here. And 2 laps to go in this race, and MCFC is currently your leader. And on this lap there won't be a overtake made. We have a yellow. That's Energy Den, I think. Yeah, Energy Den has made a mistake. So he is getting caught by the group behind him with points in just in time. And also, no, that's the left guard of Cox, or I think race credit or something. But Peldigaris is now getting closer. He is getting closer. And if they battle too hard, maybe Irji is going to join the party, but he of course has a penalty. We are going to start the final lap of the Bahrain Grand Prix with MCSC on his old softs and Peldigaris, the one stopper, on his hard tyres. Starting lap 29, the final lap of this Grand Prix, with Peldigaris having a run on MCFC, goes for the outside. And AlphaTauri brakes very late. Is he making a mistake there? They make contact, and Peldigaris is going into the lead of the race. But MCFC has the DRS and will he still make use of this softs? There are still opportunities that he can make, but where can he make an overtake? Where can he do that? And they also have to look out to not get a penalty. I think Peldigaris has got this one. He's too far away on this straight. So he's braking very late to closing the gap. But I think Peldigaris has got this one. Going around turn 13 as MGC was going wide, so he has to settle for second. The first challenge didn't work out for him. But Peldigaris comes around turn 14, the final corner of the Sakir International Circuit, to win the first race of the GP4 division, and is your winner tonight in Bahrain, with MGFC finishing second, EJ third, Die fourth, GMA was looking for the win, finishes fifth, Yoto finishes sixth, RX Slim finishes seventh, Shadow Lancer finishes 8th, Tommy Gunner finished P9, and Energy Dan has, I think, hold on. He has hold on to P10. And then the non-finishes we'll talk about shortly, but Peldigaris is your winner, and your driver of today is Ansia MCFC, which is fully deserved, from P19 to P2. And almost a win. But here's your winner, Peldigaris. So we're going for one final time through the standings of tonight, as they were loaded. Thank you. Peldigaris wins the Grand Prix. MCFC gets the fastest lap, so he gets 19 points. ERG finishes third, rounding off the podium. Die fourth, GMA fifth, Yoto sixth, Alex Slim seventh, Shadowlands 8th, Tommy 9, and Energy then 10th. Then outside the points are SFR Poch and 2E Oreo Glass, and just in time 13th, Hunter 14th, Paul 15th, Sonic 16, and Gox was out quickly, P17. Unbeaten Sign has not seen the checkered flag, and Ryan Van Doom was had contact with one of the drivers and was out quite early in the race. So I'm now going to invite the top three, so I'll be back in a minute. I have invited the top three, so let's hope they will join. And I hope you all enjoyed the opener of this race. I did. So we're gonna show you the winning car, which is the Alfa Romeo C41. I think we have our first driver in, which is MCFC. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
So, mate, you came really close to complete the last of first. So, tell us how your race went.
It went quite bad. Well, I don't know. The first lap, I actually crashed Dan, and then it just went quite well.
Yes, it did, and you didn't put a qualifying lap on the board. Didn't you got a lap in, or were you getting impeded, or what happened?
I spun at death corner.
I didn't got that, but you did a lovely race, mate, and I hope to see you next week. Is PJ in Tom's party?
Yes.
So, congratulations on your first victory of the season, and tell us just how your race went.
Thank you very much, and that was my first victory ever.
Nice.
That was pretty exciting race, and everything went my way in this time. Oh, that was very nice. And when the first safety car came in, I think that okay, now I have a chance to take a hards and maybe 10 laps in this softs, and then I try the one-stop strategy, and everybody else in front of me go to the pit, and then I realized there's okay, I have some chance. and at the end, Anasar passed me, and then I think that okay, he's soft, maybe will died in the end, and maybe I get another chance in the last lap or something like that, and yes, I get that. But very good race for me.
They died on like 2 laps to go. GG in that.
Thank you, same for you. Was nice battle with you.
Yeah, hopefully next week we get more of that.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, we enjoyed your battle from first to last. EJ says that he can't join the party, and he congratulates you two for the race. So I think this is it for the first race of the GP4 division. I think everyone enjoyed the Bahrain opener, and we will tomorrow be back with the GP3 and the other divisions we have in this league. And next week we are back, I think on Portimao, if I'm not mistaken. So next Tuesday you will hear me, and see you next week and on for another exciting GP4 race.